morning, angels, beautiful ones. So I just thought I'd hop on while I'm finishing getting ready. And I was, just before I went outside, I asked Spirit something. And it just made me laugh so much. And I said to Spirit, I need some good news. And Spirit goes, well, the good news is, like, you're alive. I'm like, you know what? You're right. I am alive. That's the good news. The good news is you are alive. You are a creation. You are here now. That is a freaking miracle. Isn't that great news? That's better than good news. But it was just so funny because what do we put goodness into? Like the mind's way of being like, oh, I need some good news. And it was just the brain's journey. To hear the response of Spirit is just freaking amazing. Because it reminds us, it truly reminds us, and that led on to, I don't know if I should wear my hair up or down. It's kind of cute up. I'll let it be free for now. And then we were just really thinking about the depth of humanness and emotion and how powerful it is to feel and experience like a diverse field of emotion without pushing it away and really seeing the gift and the treasure within it all. And then we went outside and birds always speak to us. We always get beautiful messages from birds because they're so close to Spirit. And so we're outside and we look upon one of the buildings and we've seen one magpie. And usually our association comes from just what we were taught, like when we were younger, right? And one means sorrow. And when we would see this one bird before, we'd be like, oh shit, you know, that was never a good sign. But we had this different relation because we had been doing the numerology and patterns the other day with some loved ones, and we were talking about connection, and we're talking about ones, and we're talking about creation, and we're talking about God and the spaces in between and all of that beautifulness, right? So when we seen the bird, we acknowledged it for something more than what we'd previously known it to be. And we just looked up, and it was at the top of the building, and it just says, thank you, Captain. Thank you, Captain. And as we did that, the bird flew. As soon as we saluted the bird, swept down into the tree, looking over the garden. And I was like, this is a message from Spirit that is coming to show me something. And so I listened. And it said, sorrow is the closest. Let me rephrase that. It is only through sorrow that you will feel close. But it was basically saying you feel close to God through sorrow, but not saying that it's the closest thing to God, but it is the closest thing to the essence of God that is entwined with humanity. And it is through the moments of these intense waves that we soar and we row. And sometimes in life we have to row that boat, and it can feel exhausting because we are going against the current, we are going against the grain, we are it's not just us, it is the forces of nature that are with us all of the time. And it is this dance, it is this cooperation. But the more that we row, the more that we build the muscle, we build the strength in order to be able to soar in this reality. And I just thought it was so beautiful because it opened a space of reflection that in sorrow we truly reconnect with this depth of humanity, of humility, of empathy that wouldn't have as much understanding and love and appreciation of light, but that's not to say it is not of light, because it is the very core essence that reminds us, this way of saying, it reminds us of the meaning of life. It reminds us of what is the importance of being here now, and what truly matters to us. It is only in our pain do we truly see where it is that we are and where we want to be, and that doesn't need an answer. That doesn't always need an answer, but the willingness to feel into the raw depths of sorrow, of grief, of pain is one of the most courageous things you can do. And in that transparency, in that vulnerability, you are connected to your divine innocence. You are connected with the emotions and the elements of life itself. You are truly in emergence with wholeness, not to push it away. It is easy to push it away and label it as low vibrational, but as master creators in this reality, there is an alchemical process to emotion. And that emotion is what drives and pushes and propels creation. It is what ignites the passion and aliveness in your being. And it is finding that in between that fight and that soar, where you are soaring in bliss and you are fighting to rise. Where is the grace in between is your presence. It is your movement, it is your music, it is your sound, the vibration, the love that is the in between, and within that we can then reopen always. And part of the magic of being human is forgetting all of the time and being re-invoked in awe of the miracle we call life, and the miracle experience of how divinely orchestrated all of this is. We cannot run from the entirety of all we are if we are embracing and calling it within. How can we have relation to something if we are not of that? We will cast shame upon it until we are willing to accept the beauty of the thorn. Because the thorn and the flower are united. They are entwined together. That thorn is sharp. And if people try to grab at it, it will hurt. But if you know how to touch people's hearts in the right way, you will see that they are soft inside. Do we judge the rose for having thorns? Do we judge the nettle for stinging us when we touch it? Or do we see that there is a medicine, there is an essence of life within all of these expressions of nature that is truly so delicate, so pure? Can we embrace true humanity and allow the purification process to be what it is? Can we embrace the entirety of creation within ourselves? Or do we just keep closing ourselves off? Creating an image of who we think we should be. Because then we matter, right? But you matter already in all that you are. And you are beyond that matter as much as you are here now. And we can be it all. We are it all. Cannot claim to be one with all things, to be whole within the entirety of creation without embracing your wholeness, without embracing feeling, without embracing sense, without embracing emotion, without acknowledging the movement of life and the cycles that we are part of. Yes, we can travel beyond. Yes, we can create, but only through our willingness and allowance of what already is present here and now. That is the breakthrough. And as we do this, it is not that we are shown our strength. That is who we are too. Do not exhaust yourself looking for the answers. Wonder why you are asking the question. Why do you need to know? Because if we feel, then we are. But then what separates that from reality and illusion? If everything is interchangeable at every given time, and that is what is calling for your courage, to anchor in the space between. When everything becomes so fluid, so tangible, your heart is your float in the ocean. Now, you can become exhausted because you are a human, alive being trying to swim in an ocean of creation. But you are also a creator. And you can use that ability to transform and utilize your multidimensionality to call forth the aspects and the essences within your oversoul that are going to be able to support you through this journey of evolution. Now, if you need to dive into the depths, then you need to call forth the medicine of the elements of water, the aquatic beings, the dolphins, the whales, and merge yourself with that essence, because here you do not need to carry the tanks to be able to breathe. You have everything you need already inside of you. And here you will rise, harmonize, and bring color to life. Aqua, the aquatic ray. There is so much happening through you and around you. There is so much life is here to offer you in these moments. You are a star. You are truly magic. You have a gift of beingness. It's not something you have to strive for. It's who you are. It's who you are. It's who you have always been. And it's not just about you. It's about us all. It's about collaboration, co-creation, that we do this together. There is not just one star in the sky. And we are all traveling in motion all of the time. Often we harden to soften. We soften to harden, we harden to soften. But where is the breath? Where is the life in between all of that? I'm hearing about chaos and catalyzing and like the supernova of stars exploding and creating new galaxies, and that is what this energy has felt like. But chaos is not chaos as we know it to be. It is life force. It is circulation. It is movement. And it can feel disorientating when we are swirling in creation. But your pillar of light is your stabilization. And this is the truth. The shattering rays of illumination bring all that was hidden to truth, to light. The polarity, there is awareness seating in the polarity in this moment. There is awareness. But you see the solid form of the truth? Wow. The solid form of truth is what can hold the polarity in place, but it's also what can seed the awareness and the color back into the black and white, because as we're sharing, as a beautiful soul is sharing with me, there is not, even in black and white, there is not just black and white. There is more depth than that. There is shading. There is pattern. There is magnetic and electric energy vibrating. And it's only through the heart, through the Stargate portal, that we can see that color back into that shade. the sun. Clarity, peace, harmony, bliss, beauty. I'm seeing the doves of peace around it, or in black and white. And then there's color in the middle. And I was thinking about the 4 is stabilization. And they are shooting blue rays, blue truth. And wow. It's almost like the polarization. The binary is what holds a ring, a codex ring of stability that is actually holding the new world but it is stretching. It is not a solid form. It is like every corners of the map is being flown by these doves of the old world. But you see, to transcend and evolve what has been, we have to be within it. But it is our journey through it that we find light, we find life, we don't find it, but we become it. We are it. And we don't see that in the moment that we are traveling through it. Because we're still heading towards truth all of the time, but look what we have created behind us. Is a masterpiece. An explosion of love, of unity. And we're all doing it, even if we're heading in different directions. This is a collaboration, no matter what way you want to look at it. It's almost like the 4 corners of the world. If there was even corners to the world, who even freaking knows, but that's the way I'm seeing it. It's hard. You are the missing piece. You are the 4. You are the force of the 4, and it is time to just be who you are, okay? Interesting. Can I get one more card for that? Wow, okay. It's like, is your desire aligned with the purpose of why you were here? But there is so much passion for this unification. We have 2 11-11 cards come out with the devil. But I'm not seeing it as a bad thing I'm seeing this as passionness, willingness, transmutation. His feet are on fire. And he is in the polarization. This little goat. This little mountain goat, okay? And this little goat has a star. Just like this one. One. Yeah. I was just, before seeing the 111, I was just about to say, what has been done is done, and this is a new cycle that is coming in, okay? But this is beyond just ones and ones. It's so beyond that. It's so much bigger than the me and the you. It is the we. It is the all of us. It's like, I just heard, are we seeking to be free? Or have you just forgotten that you are free? Because freedom is your essence of presence, of being. And no matter where you are in the world, no matter the circumstance, nothing and no one can take your freedom if your freedom exists within you and your freedom is not dependent on the outside circumstances. It is not subjective to the happening. And through that awareness, you collapse the distortion, the overlay, and then you can travel forward. You can let go. And by letting go, we let it in. We feel it all. And then we receive. Then we can receive. Wow. I think we'll leave it there for these morning little journeys. But we love you. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Leave a little comment. Welcome to the tribe, the family of light. Ashe loves you. Have a beautiful day.